My name is Mohammed Hafizh, and I would like to read final project of pronunciation drill. Part 1. Read the story correctly. Baby Caterpillar was tired. All summer long she had been traveling slowly through the green world where she lived, and feeding on the green leaves that grew near her home. Now autumn had come, and Mother Nature had given a holiday to the leaves, who put on their new dresses of red and gold and play tag with the breeze. Baby Caterpillar wanted to play too, but could not run so fast as the happy little leaves, and she grew very tired and thought she would take a nap. So she found a cozy place among the branches of a grapevine and made herself a soft, silky blanket. Then she rolled herself away within it, and then, in her queer little cradle, went to sleep. One night, late in the fall, Jack Frost came over the hill. He spied the cradle swinging and fro, and began to play roughly with it, for he is a roguish little fellow, and touches everything that comes in his way. But the warm blanket hid the little sleeper, so that Jack could not find her. By and by, King Winter came, bringing beautiful snow blanket to Mother Nature's flowers' babies. He gently rocked the cradle, and he passed, and whispered, "Sleep, baby, sleep. You have no need of my blankets." At last spring came with the sunbeams, the bays and myriads of Mother Nature's helpers. They awoke the flowers from their long winter nap, and called to the birds and the brooks to begin their song. When they came to the little brown cradle, they stopped to rest, and baby Caterpillar began to get very warm under the thick blanket. She woke up and stretched herself, and her cradle broke, and she came out to greet the spring. But what a change! Instead of the old dingy dress that she went to sleep in, she now had a beautiful little one. And instead of crawling among the leaves, she flew up and away into the sweet spring air to play with the sunbeams and flowers. And the little children called her a butterfly. Part 2. Read this poem correctly. Billet does not rhyme with ballad. Bouquet, wallet, mallet, shallot, blood, and flood are not like food, nor is mood like should and would. Viscose, viscount, laud, and broad, towered to forward to reward. And your pronunciation's okay when you correctly say crooked, rounded, wounded, and grieve and sieve, friend and fend, alive and leave. Evie, privy, famous, clamour, and animal rhyme with hammer, river, rival, tomb, bomb, comb, dole and roll, and some and home. Stranger does not rhyme with anger, neither does devour with clangor. Souls but foe, hunt but on, front, fond, want, ran and grunt. Shoes, goes, does. Now first say finger, and then singer, ginger, linger, real, zeal, mave, gas, Gucci, engage, marriage, foliage, mirage, and age. Query does not rhyme with fairy, nor does fury sounds like bury. Dust, lost, pass and dot, clot, lot, job, nub, bosom, transom, oath, of the differences seem little, we say actual but fictional. River does not rhyme with dever. Fever does, and zephyr. Haver, mint, pint, senate, and sedate. Dull, ball, and George ate late. Scanic, Arabic, Pacific, science, conscience, scientific, liberty, library, heave and heaven, Rachel, age, mustache, 11, we say hello, but allowed. People, leopard, toad, but fold. Mark the differences, moreover, between mover, cover, clover, liches, breeches, wise, precise, sallies, but police, and lies. Camel, constable, unstable. Principle, disciple, label. Pell, panel, and candle. Wait, surprise, plate, promise, pal. Warm and storm, chase and chaos. Chair, senator, spectator, mayor. Tor, but hour and succor. For, gas, Alice, and Arkansas. Sea, idea, Korea, area, psalm, Maria, but malaria. Youth, salt, Saturn, cleans and clean. Doctrine, turpentine, Mary. Compare Ellen with Italian. Dandelion and battalion. Sally with alley, yeah, ye, I, a, we, and key. Say ever, but ever. Fever, neither. Leisure, skein, deceiver. Heron, granary, cannery. Seraphins and device and airy. Part 3. Read this twister tongue naturally. Read it 3 times. The first is slow mode, the second is normal mode, and the last is the fast mode. Number 1. In slow mode. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck, he would, as much as he could, and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Normal mode. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck, he would, as much as he could, and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Now it's fast mode. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck, he would, as much as he could, and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Number 2. In slow mode. Can, you can, I can't, can into an uncan, can like a canner, can, a can into an uncan, can. In normal mode. Can, you can, a can't, can into an uncan, can like a canner, can, a can, canned into an uncan, can. In fast mode. Can, you can, a can into an uncan, can like a canner, can, a can into an uncan, can. Number 3. In slow mode. Silly, Sally, swiftly shoe, 7 silly ship. The seven silly sheep, silly Sally sued, silly Sally sought. These sheep shouldn't sleep in a shack, sheep should sleep in a shed. In normal mode, silly Sally swiftly shoots seven silly sheep. The seven silly sheep, silly Sally shoot, silly Sally sought. These sheep couldn't sleep in a shack, sheep should sleep in a shed. Now in fast mode, silly Sally swiftly shoots seven silly sheep. The seven silly sheep, silly Sally shoot, silly Sally sought. These sheep shouldn't sleep in a shack, sheep should sleep in a shed. Number 4, in slow mode. All I want is a proper cup of coffee, made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a cup of coffee from a proper coffee pot. In normal mode, all I want is a proper cup of coffee, made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a cup of coffee from a proper coffee pot. Now in fast mode, all I want is proper cup of coffee, made in proper copper cover, but maybe off my dot. But I want a cup of coffee from a proper coffee pot. Number 5, in slow mode. Amidst the mist and coldest frost, with stoutest wrist and loudest boast, he thrust his fist against the post, and still insist he sees the ghost. In normal mode, amidst the mist and coldest frost, with stoutest wrist and loudest boast, he thrusts his fist against the post, and still insists he sees the ghost. Now in fast mode, it's really hard. Amidst the mist and coldest frost, with stoutest wrist and loudest boast, he thrusts his fist against the post, and still insists he sees the ghost. Thank you very much